All right, good evening and welcome to our April Leaders Update for the summer of 2026. Very excited to have everybody here joining us this evening. We're going to go through, talk about a variety of different topics. But before we get started, just a couple of reminders. This session is being recorded. So we'll have everything shared after the meeting, so you'll be able to review later on. The recording will be on our YouTube channel, so that'll be there for you to reference. This is a Zoom webinar, okay, meaning that you can see us, but we can't see you. In addition to that, if you have any questions, right, the Q&A feature is where you should ask those questions. We'll be answering questions throughout the meeting, but we're also answering some out loud as we go as well. And if you have additional questions that you think about after the meeting, right, you can be sure to reach out to us at hello@resicafalls.org, so we can get in contact with each of you to answer those questions that you might have. So we're very excited to have with us our leadership team this evening, myself, Steve Mock, the camp director. We'll have our assistant camp directors, Jerry Reed and Matt Gutterman. Jake Walsh, our program director, Sky Kramer, our assistant program director, right? We'll also be hearing from our business manager, Paul Dalator. And of course, supporting us behind the scenes and answering all of your questions and emails, right? Our Kim Trainer, our camping support specialist, right? And then John Bickle, our director of outdoor adventures as well. So I'm going to get started with this evening, running through tonight's agenda. We'll talk about some important dates. We'll talk about our upcoming medical form review days. We'll talk about the food that is going to be happening in camp this summer. We're going to run through some key program things about planning a successful week in camp, some quick tips around program, talking about the magic of Resica Falls and really honing in on our summer camp theme. We'll dive in and look at afternoon adventures, right? We'll also share some details about that 2026 theme shirt at the end of the meeting, as well as details around the pre-camp survey, and wrap it all up with any questions that you might have, right? Lots of stuff going on. So mark your calendars, right? Busy spring as always, right? So April 18th, this upcoming Saturday, is a service day in camp, right? If your unit is looking for something to do, you can come on up to Resica Falls. Any unit that comes also get a free ground site for camping if they do a full day of service. We also have another service day on June 13th. Same deal, come up for the weekend. We'll give you a free ground site for camping, right? And you guys can help us get ready for summer camp. May 15th is when your full payment is due for the summer. This is required in order for campsites to be assigned and check-in assignments to be put out. So make sure that you're getting uh, your uh, your fees paid up and everything handled by May 15th. May 21st will be our next and final leaders update for the summer of 2026. We'll talk about last minute changes or key reminders, kind of walk people through the check-in process and things like that. Giving you those quick reminders before we come together for camp, right? And then May 27th, right, is when our custom theme shirt orders are due. And we'll be talking about that more later on this evening, right? But May 27th will be the deadline for that. Another set of important days coming up are our pre-camp medical review days, right? Members of our camping committee, health and safety committee, key volunteers put together this initiative of reviewing your unit's medical forms ahead of time, right? With the idea of making your check-in experience more expedited when you come to camp, right? So on May 30th, June 13th, June 20th, June 27th, and July 11th, 5 dates at the Cradle of Liberty Council office in King of Prussia. from 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. That group of volunteers will be there to review your medical forms, right? You don't need to bring the whole troop, right? You just need a unit representative to come with the medical forms. Medical forms must be submitted in person. The entire unit's forms must be complete, right? And you should make sure that you're keeping your own copy, only turning in the forms that are needed for us, right? So they're going to get reviewed before you come to camp, okay? And just like when you turn your forms in during check-in, your health forms will be returned at the end of the week as well. No different there. They're just getting to us ahead of time so that we can help get you into camp a little quicker. Those forms that you need to make sure that you have as part of the medical form review days are going to be the Scouting America Annual Health and Medical Record, parts A, B, and C. Need one copy of that per person. Need 2 copies of the Drug Administration Record per person, right? This form's been updated for 2026, okay? Everyone needs Section 1 completed, which talks about over-the-counter medications and gives parental approval for those to be administered by camp, right? Specific medications, yes or no, right? And then Section 2 deals with prescription medications, right? That a scout or a leader might be having. We ask for you to bring 2 copies of this so that 1 copy can remain in the health lodge, and then the second copy can remain with the scout or the adult leader's medications, right? Because there's check boxes to verify that the scout took those medications as needed, whether that's being administered through the health lodge or if you're administering those in your own campsite, right? We still ask that you have that second copy of the drug administration record with you to kind of keep that record. And speaking of keeping medications in the campsite, right? The medical unit medication storage release forms also been updated for 2026, right? This is 1 copy per unit, and it's optional. If your unit is deciding to administer medications in the campsite rather than through the health lodge, right? We'll give you a locked storage box. You keep those medications in the site, and you take the responsibility rather than having the scouts come to the health lodge to take their medications. So make sure these 3 forms are all completed and ready to go, right? Annual health and medical record for everybody, 1 copy, drug administration record, 2 copies for everybody, and then 1 copy for the unit of the unit medication storage release form. All that should be turned in at one of those medical form preview days, right, before camp, on those 5 dates that we mentioned, right? Or, right, your unit still has the option to turn your medical forms in as part of the check-in process on Sunday when you arrive to camp. Right. And again, just one final reminder about those camp service days. Free weekend of tent camping, April 17th, 18th, and 19th, with 18 being the day of service, June 12th, 13th, 14th, with 13th being the day of service, right? Come up, have a great time, and help get camp into tip-top shape.
Hey, everybody knows how to get a senior patrol leader and leader to a meeting. It's food, food, food. Are you enjoying your Philly cheesesteaks right now? All right. We have our menus up on the website. You can find our 3 uh, forms of dietary Resica menus, and there's a regular one, there's a diet, a glucose one, and a vegetarian one. We have all 3 for you there. All right. You can find them on our website at resicafalls.org, and then you click on the summer camp and then pick the important documents. And all three of the menus will be there. Okay, cool. Second, we have a dietary culinary to the what do we got here? Important documents. Second hand to collect teams and note a special dietary. We also have a special dietary needs, and you go in and tell us what your special needs and dietary allergies are. Okay, that's also found in our website under the special needs and the important documents one. Okay. Uh, these all the specialty needs will be sent directly to the culinary team at Resica, and and you'll get a copy as well. Okay, the contact for the culinary team is John, and he'll be glad to answer any questions if you have a direct loop to him. Okay, so there. We just got our menus. All right. Our program guide, which is our medical for a medical weekend for a magical weekend camp for a magical weekend camp. All right. Holy mackerel. That too, it can get it on our website and resicafalls.org, and we can get a program there. It can get on and get our 2026 program guide. Includes you can do a troop countdown to get you into camp. We have Sunday check-in on in Sunday merit badge opportunities and a program highlights. There's also master camp programs and a Resica Rangers and the adult leader training there. Go on there, you'll find a bunch of a lot more information, and that should get you through the start of the week. All right. We can't wait to see you in camp.
All right, thanks, Jerry. Now we're going to throw it over to Jake and Sky, our program duo here, talking to us about all the fun and exciting programs that are in that program guide. They're going to give us some great highlights.
Thank you, Steve and Jerry. As Jerry was talking about that program guide, cannot emphasize its importance enough. What I'm going to go through right now is going to be specifically for your SPLs. Here's what your role is in camp, what you're looking for in that program guide, and what you should be looking at before you get to camp, as well as once you're at camp. So first, before you get to camp, what you're going to want to look at, and these are some questions that we recommend you ask your fellow scouts. What are you guys interested in doing at camp? Do you guys want to do a troop trips? What do you want to do in the afternoon? And things like that. What do you guys want to do? That program guide, and later on, Sky will talk more about afternoon adventures. Things like that, and those documents that we talked about are great resources for you. In camp, later on down there, it says Campers Council meetings. We have daily meetings at 7:15 p.m. that myself or Sky will be at. So that's one great resource for you, and you'll always have that daily opportunity to ask questions about program or when you can do something, when something's happening, what day it's happening, and things like that. You also have the opportunity at any point go into the camp office, ask your campsite commissioner. There are many people in camp that are all around that are happy to answer any questions you may have. During check-in, your role as a senior patrol leader, generally you're going to want to be rounding your troop, whether that be at our initial location at the school, making sure you're getting through each location as directed by staff, or once you're at camp, following your campsite staff member who will be guiding you around. They'll be giving you a tour of camp, taking you to locations, your dining hall, orientation. If your troop still needs it, swim tests. They'll take you to your campsite where you can unload your gear, and then back after all the tour duties, and make sure you guys have everything you need in your campsite. And that's going to be your go-to person that you're going to want to talk to. Again, I already touched on campers council meetings, but all throughout the week, it's going to be setting the tone, making sure you guys know what's going on, as well as prepping for major events, such as Wednesday being one of the biggest days in camp, whether that's for our Wednesday afternoon games or for the campers campfire, which if you guys haven't prepped for one before, make sure you guys are talking to your troops, seeing what type of song skits or cheers you want to be putting on, so you can give those to us early enough so that we can make sure you're slotted in for a time during that campers campfire. Later on, Sky will touch on afternoon adventures more, but in general, these activities range from troop shoots to even designing your own wizard gear that you can wear throughout camp. And it's just awesome opportunities. Once we get that guide out to you guys will take that to your troop and see what things they want to do. Some activities are troop wide, some are for a patrol, and some are just for a buddy pair to go and do and hang out. Overall, you guys will be leading the way, leading the charge, whether that's before you get to camp or after you get to camp. Next slide. So, program itself. You're going to a scout camp, you're going to be looking at things like merit badges. Along with our 4 morning periods of merit badge sessions, we also have an additional afternoon section, a period 5, that you guys can take more badges at. Again, those afternoon adventures are a great opportunity to go around, whether that's get advancement done or troop shoot or whatever. Other program that we offer at camp, our High Five Adventure Club. It's an afternoon program where you can go take a hike around camp, go climb up the climbing wall, experience blacksmithing, all these, a variety of things geared towards older scouts so they can go do it with other scouts in that age range. ATV, again, take advantage of riding around camp and getting that, learning that skill, gaining that certification, offering 2 morning sessions and 1 afternoon one. COPE is an all-morning program where you guys, again, these older scouts can do, whether that's high COPE or low COPE, a bunch of team building activities, things, you know, especially that low COPE, you can bring that back to your troop and build up your patrols teamwork. And last but not least, our Resica Rangers program. This is for your first-year campers, never been to summer camp before, maybe just crossed over into your troop. They have, in the program, you're going to be covering rank requirements from scout up to first class, as well as the first aid and exploration merit badges. For all this program, our program registration is now open. It opened April 11th. So if you haven't checked that out already, make sure your leaders are getting on there, or your parents through the parent portal, to register your guys for your merit badge selections and all these other program opportunities that we have. Up next will be Sky talking about our afternoon adventures. Oh, wait, I forgot this slide. The magic of camp. This story, again, is driven by you campers, much like last year with our Search for Scouting's Treasure. Based on the color wristband, you'll be sorted into your wizarding house. That being the teal house Brenner or the yellow house Reed. Throughout the week, throughout all these opportunities of camp-wide program, our Monday night Duel of Wands, Tuesday Gauntlet of Fire, Tuesday, Thursday with our night hike of the Mystics Under the Moon, and Wednesday afternoon Sorcerer Showdown. You guys can earn points to drive that story throughout the week. through your participation. Also, there's the Hunt for Jareth's Lost Artifacts, which will be dropping hints and clues throughout the week for you guys to look out for to try and complete that scavenger hunt and locate any of those lost artifacts. And of course, the tradition, our gateway competition, whether you guys have any ideas of building a wizard tower or a decrepit portal or whatever other cool ideas you guys got, bring it to camp, prep beforehand. These are judged Friday morning, and the best troops get acknowledged at our Friday night closing campfire. And now, for real this time, Sky will be talking about afternoon adventures.
Thanks, Jake. The afternoon adventure guide is going to be available on April 25th. So in there you can find all of our afternoon adventures that we'll be offering this summer, ranging from troop trips to target and range activities, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Registration for all of our afternoon adventures happens in camp. So no pre-registration is required. Don't try and do it at all beforehand. Everything will happen in camp on Sunday night at our registration meeting, which happens after our leaders meeting, but before our opening campfire. Um, some of our activities include troop trips. For these, you have to complete a trip plan in camp. But these trips range from watering hole visits, so you can go swimming in the Bushkill at Fossil Rock or Cool Dip, a canoe trip on the Delaware River, or just hikes around property. But like I mentioned, all of these need a trip plan filled out prior and signed by your campsite commissioner. Target and range activities. We have slots available for this all afternoon. So starting in period 5, and continuing until the first meal. So there are lots of opportunities for troops to get in and either shoot rifle, shotgun, or archery. However, shotgun does have an associated cost with it due to the shotgun shells. And then how to get support in camp. You can talk to your campsite commissioner, like Jake mentioned earlier, or you are more than welcome to ask any questions to the office or during the campers council meeting at 7:15 on every day at the flagpole. And so, like I said, afternoon adventures typically start after fifth period, since a lot of our afternoon merit badges are happening during that time slot as well. However, some activities do start during period 5, such as the troop shoots, like I just mentioned. And then as a way to ease the Cub to Scout transition, we have Webelos and Arrow of Light Scouts that can attend our Webelos week, just kind of as a way to get an experience of what a Scout summer camp looks like. And they can sign up for that from August 2nd to the 8th.
Awesome, Sky. Thank you. Thank you to you and Jake for putting together a great program for this summer. It's going to be a truly magical and marvelous experience. Can't wait to see how it all plays out. Up next, we got our business manager, Paul Dallatour, who's going to talk about our theme shirts.
Thank you, Steve. Good evening, everyone, and I apologize that my camera doesn't seem to be working. But just to talk a little bit about the theme shirts, you actually can start ordering them as of tonight. We have opened the link in your registration page. We have either a yellow shirt or a teal shirt to match your team color. We have the logo for our camping theme on the front of the shirt, and then your troop number and hometown on the back of the shirt. These will be ordered, as Steve said, by May 27th, so that we will be having them available so you can pick them up during check-in at camp. The cost of the shirts is $22 for small, medium, large, and extra large. And for the 2X and 3X, they will be $27 each. The way to order your shirts is basically through your link to sign up for sign up for camp. You'll look under the registration contact, and then down you'll scroll down to where the shirts are, and you can select how many shirts you want. Since these will be the shirts that we will be using on Wednesday for camp-wide games, be pretty cool to have everybody showing up in these shirts. Again, the prices are $22 for the small, medium, large, and extra large, and $27 for the larger sizes. And I will stress that the order form is due in via Black Pug by May 27th, so that we can get all the shirts made and sent to camp before you arrive. Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing everybody this summer.
Great. Thank you, Paul. Now we're going to have Matt talking about our pre-camp survey.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. So the pre-camp survey, much like the t-shirts, are now available through your Black Pug registration. You can find that through the registration contact in the same place that you'll find the t-shirts. We do a pre-camp survey to help with campsite assignments and assigning arrival times, and it gives us a central place to look for all that information. Believe it or not, between all of us on the call and our support staff back at the council office, we get a ton of questions every day from campers and leaders attending camp. And this survey through Black Pug gives us a central spot where we can track all those requests. So if you reach out to us via email with questions about campsite assignments and things like that and requests, we'll tell you to go put that into the Black Pug registration. I do want to remind you that these are just requests and not guarantees. Often we'll try and match units together to fit in campsites based off of the number of scouts that they're bringing, sometimes the locations that they're coming from and things like that. There's a spot within your pre-camp survey where you can request a pairing with another unit. And like I said, we'll do our best to work based off of the information you provide us to get you in the right areas. But sometimes we need to move things around to make sure that everyone fits. On that survey, you can expect a few different questions. Things like units that you want to share your site with. If you're bringing a trailer, because that has some impacts on what site you get placed in. If you're planning on leaving early before our typical Saturday morning departure, if you're bringing a bus to camp so that we can make the appropriate arrangements for that, and if there's any other special needs or special requests that you want to inform us about. You'll find the survey, like I said, through your Black Pug registration under the registration contact. If you click on that registration contact and scroll down between the basic information that you have there, starting tonight, you'll see the pre-camp survey. You'll see the area to order your themed t-shirts, and you'll also see an area to submit your pre-camp swim tests. We handle all that through the registration contact. That's all the planned content that we have for you tonight. Please make sure that you mark your calendars for May 21st at 7 p.m. That'll be our final pre-camp leaders meeting. We'll give you any last-minute updates, answer any questions that you have leading up to the summer, and get prepared for a magical experience this coming summer.
All right, great. Thank you, Matt. We've got some questions in the Q&A that we're going to run through and answer. If other people come up with questions as we are going along, that'll be great as well. First question is, how do we know what color shirt we're going to have, right? So that's going to be based upon the meal that you're assigned to, right? So the meals are the teal meal, which is the first seating, and the yellow meal, which is the second seating. That'll be the color of the wristbands you receive during check-in, right? And that will be the color of the shirt that your unit will receive based upon that meal. So those, along with your campsite assignments, will come out in the early part of June, and then you'll have that information at that time. All right. We had a question around age requirements for shooting merit badges, right? Rifle, shotgun, archery, merit badge, none of them have an age requirement, Cowboy Action, right, our special program on Thursday evening, does have an age requirement. That's based around the types of firearms that are used as part of that program, right? But typical rifle, shotgun, and archery merit badge, right? There is no age requirement for those range badges, right? Um, so some merit badges fill up quicker than others. Uh, and that's why we have that wait list feature. So if there are any other changes or scouts drop out, then you're going to be able to move scouts off of the wait list into the badges. But unfortunately, in order to have a higher quality of instruction, right, we can't have an abundance of scouts in different merit badges and things like that. So how the merit badge schedule is set with the different caps and things like that, that is where we are at with merit badge offerings. All right. You absolutely can come and get a tour of camp um prior to your decision to come to camp. You can reach out to us at hello@resicafalls.org, and we can find some time for you to come to camp and um, see what it's all about. Right. So you're not going to be when you order your t-shirts, right? You don't have to necessarily pick your specific color, right? Your color will be already assigned based upon the meal. So you don't need to worry about selecting a color. You're just going to have the teal meal or the yellow meal from there. All right. Okay. Purchasing the t-shirts is not a required thing. It's just a neat extra feature that we offer to allow a unit to kind of embrace the theme if they so choose. Friday evenings in camp are our closing ceremony. So we all have our merit badge reconciliation in the dining hall following dinner. So if there's any issues or questions that need to be resolved with different merit badges, they can be done so then. And then we have our whole camp head up to the Richards Arena for our closing ceremony. Recognize the achievements of all the different scouts for the different activities and programs throughout the week and in camp. There is a cost for visitors meals that is listed in the program guide. So if you have any people that are visiting for a day, right, when they come to the office and check in and sign in, they will pay for their visitors meals at that time. Okay. Troop chip pictures are available. You can schedule a time with your commissioner to get your picture taken in camp. And they will let you know when and where that can take place. Again, a reminder with the shirt deadline, that is May 27th. That is going to be the deadline for those shirt orders so we can get them all in time for the start of camp. Okay, we'll give it another 30 seconds here to see if we have any other more questions that come along. Yeah, so like Jerry said, the dietary restriction form is live on the website. That's there for any scout or adult to list any special diet concerns, whether they are a vegetarian or have a gluten intolerance or something like that. That form is there. And there's no specific due date for that except before you arrive for your week of camp. Our culinary team is monitoring that, and they'll reach out if there's any issues or anything like that. Okay. Whole bunch of questions just came in all at once. Here we go. Bikes are permitted in camp. Scouts are allowed to bring bicycles and adults to ride. They have to wear a helmet and they have to follow the speed limit in camp of 5 miles per hour in camp, right? E-bikes are not permitted in camp. E-bikes are not permitted in scouting. They're prohibited according to the Guide to Safe Scouting. So e-bikes are not permitted, but regular pedal bikes are. Those MedForm review days are open to anyone, whether you're in council or out of council. The council office is just our best place to be able to have those for people to come and have those forms reviewed. Blue cards are not required. All the merit badge record registrations and record keeping and completes and partials at the end of it, all of that is recorded through Black Pug, right? And we'll be able to kind of provide you with some guidance around getting that information out of Black Pug at the end of the week of camp. It's a pretty simple download. You can download it out of Black Pug and then upload it in the Scout book. We don't use blue cards at Resica Falls. Everything's done through Black Pug, right? All right. Our same food service as the last couple years. They're going to be rejoining us again. New head chef this year, right? His contact info is in the slides and will be available through the when you'll be able to see it when the video is posted on YouTube. And you'll also see Johnny's contact info on the Resica Falls website, his email address, if there's any specific questions that are asked for dietary concerns, right? So think at this point we're going to wrap it up. Thank you for joining us this evening. If you have other questions, specific comments, things that you want to work out specifically with your unit, please feel free to reach out to us at hello@resicafalls.org. That's going to give us a chance to handle your issues, work with you directly on making things, solving any problems that you might have. This video is going to be posted on YouTube. So you'll be able to get a copy of that and kind of go back and check things out after the fact. Our YouTube channel is youtube.com/Resica Falls. Usually takes a couple days to get everything situated at that point. Make sure you join us on May 21st for our final pre-camp leaders update. We're going to go through steps with check-in, any last-minute changes, final reminders, things like that on that meeting on May 21st. Registration's now available for that. resicafalls.org/calendar. Just like you're able to sign up for these two meetings, this one and the one in February, you can sign up for the May one at that point. And again, right, make sure you reference the program guide. All the key details are there. And we look forward to seeing you in camp. Have a nice night.